Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Paranormal Q&A with Jack, Kenna, and Carly Hall. And welcome to our first night of multicasting, where we are live broadcasting not only on Facebook, but on YouTube, on our channel Paranormal Q&A with Jack, Kenna, and Carly Hall, but also on Periscope, on Twitter. So you can check us out there. Hopefully, if you can use whatever you like nowadays. So, and we can see all your posts from all those venues as well. So, yeah, it's cool.
And our special guest today is Tino, because he wants cuddles and he will press buttons in order to get these cuddles. So.
Well, he also can maybe answer some questions. I mean, cats are known to be sometimes the guardians to the other side. Oh, he didn't like that. What'd you do?
I pet him wrong.
You petted him wrong. Yeah, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be interviewed. That's what that means. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I don't want to talk about being a guardian to the other side. And we see our friends Michelle Millens. How are you doing out there? Bob Burnell. Howdy, howdy. Kathy Gastineau, I hope I pronounced that right. Hello out there. Carl Mitchell, good to see you on tonight. It was great seeing you this past weekend. You and Bob Maloney, we see you out there too, Bob. Ruth Such, I see, is on. And it's great to have our friends. And we've been doing a little bit of traveling lately, haven't we, Carly?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we've been to, Gettysburg Battlefield Bash got canceled, but we did go down. Nick Cates, I see you out there. How you doing, Nick? But we all went anyway. A whole bunch of us we had our reservations at the hotel, so a bunch of us still went down and kind of got together. Bob and Carl kind of canceled out, but that was okay because we saw them at this past weekend at Wildwood Sanitarium out in, you pronounce it, because I always get it wrong.
Salamanca,
like New York, near
It's like the
Hinsdale.
lady at the hotel said, pronounce it like salamander.
Yeah.
But like
I
Salamanca.
still will pronounce it wrong. Salamanca. I keep wanting to say Salamanca. But anyway, Salamanca, New York, which is out near Olean. It's western New York, and not far from also Hinsdale, New York, where the Hinsdale House is. And we'll be actually doing an investigation there this November, just with friends, actually. Bob and Carl will be coming to that. That'll be great.
Yeah.
And a few of our other friends. So that'll be great. Barb Vog, I see Barb out there. How you doing out there, Barb? Good to see you again. I haven't heard from you in a long time, but it's good to see you out there, my old friend. Nick says he's doing good. Hope you're all doing well. We are doing well. We were very careful in our travels to stay safe and stay healthy. Wearing our masks and doing what we could for social distancing, and still had some fun with our friends. So it's possible to do things and be safe.
And
or you want to say something?
I started watching Bleach.
Oh,
that's really good.
Yeah, her anime stuff.
It is really good. Yeah. Nick, when we were at Gettysburg, Nick was like, "You gotta watch Bleach," and then Chris Sanders was like, "You gotta watch Bleach." So I started watching Bleach, and it's actually really good. So
you guys need to start your own anime live feed. Seriously, that really wouldn't be a bad thing. I think it would go over really well. Because this is not our venue for talking about anime. But
I know, but I just wanted to bring it up because we were talking about it at the paranormal event. So.
I know.
Anyway.
And that was friendship stuff, just talking about stuff. And that's happens too. I mean, we sit, we talk with our friends, we talk about all different things, and it's all good. I mean, it is all good.
Exactly.
So there's nothing wrong with any of that. But yeah, you guys maybe should consider that. You guys could discuss all things anime. We have the system for you guys to do it with.
Yeah.
You could come in here and use this program, and you could create your own anime live feed.
We'll put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. All right, put a pin in it then. Put a pin in it.
Because I have to start school too, so I'm starting school in a couple weeks.
Well, you do it once a week.
So, yeah.
You could do it on a Saturday or a Sunday or something. It's a thought. It's just a thought. And Barry March, we see you out there. Barry, how's it going out there tonight? Yes, it was great to see you there, Barry. It really was.
Yes.
Barry's a good buddy of ours, and he got to Barry, our good friend Barry, got to meet two of our other very good friends, Bob and Carl. So it was kind of
Yeah.
cool. We're getting all of our friends together slowly. Emily Mason, I see you out there. It really was great to get everybody together. Yeah, miss you too, Barb. I see Barb says, miss you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Barb, we are doing well. Miss you too. Um, we also had, ran into, at Gettysburg, actually also at Wildwood, Daniel Clays. I always pronounce his last name wrong. Dan, you got to forgive me. I know it is. I always pronounce it.
Right?
Never.
Am I the one doing it wrong?
I don't
Or
know.
I don't know. One or the other.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
We love you, Dan. We may get your name wrong, but
Yeah.
we still love you. He's told me what it is a dozen times. I
think
know.
it's class.
It's a mental block I have. A mental block I have. I did want to just give a quick shout out to my good friend Evelyn Rochelle. She's been going through some stuff lately. She called me today talking about some paranormal stuff and just some things. And she's a good egg. She's a great person. I met her through all the paranormal years ago. Actually, just a couple years ago down in West Virginia, an event we did. But she's a great person. And like all our friends, we try to help them out where we can. And yeah, we talk to him once in a while and try to help him out. But she's doing good, and a lot of people I know about some of the stuff going on out there these days with a couple of our other friends. She's in the hospital right now, and a lot going on. But they did her husband ran a fundraiser, and they did really well with it. And I thank anybody who saw my post about it and responded to that. And we thank everybody for helping our friends out there. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully everything turns out okay. We really hope for that. We're praying for you every day. It's important, and just I think most people know who I'm talking about. So it's our friends Anthony and Dina Holmes, and just say some prayers for Dina tonight, and for Anthony too. But Dina's she's hanging in there, I guess, but she's still in the induced coma.
Yes,
I didn't see the
believe
update
so.
today.
I'm not sure. They're just doing it to wait for her lungs to heal.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
It's I believe it's not COVID related, but it's something else.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So all I know is that she's in the ICU.
Yeah, he did say what it was, but thank you everybody out there for helping our friends out with that. And I know there are a lot of them out. You guys out there, they're your friends too, and we just want to make sure we mention that and appreciate everything everybody's doing for them, and let them know that we are here for them. We are here for them. Hey, I see Keith Bailey is on.
Hi, Keith.
How you doing out there, Keith? It's great talking to you today, as always. Steve White, Chelsea Anastasia, I think I pronounced that right. And again, we're here to answer your questions. This show is all about answering your questions about anything paranormal. So if you got any questions, reach out to us. Just reach out to us and ask anything you got. We have some. We actually investigated, talking about Wildwood Sanitarium that we did help do a fundraiser for. That's another good thing. Not obviously not quite as important as our friend Dina out there, but they are trying to repair the roof on the Wildwood Sanitarium, and they're trying to raise money for that. We did pretty good over the weekend, but they really could use more help. I don't think they've put out a fundraiser request for that, but I think they should. I really think they should, because these places are important, not only historically, but for us as investigators to be able to have places to go and investigate. And Dan Class supports it, just like he does with his Hinsdale house. He people go there, investigate, and they put the money back into it. The Wildwood Sanatorium is a bit bigger place. There's more maintenance involved. And And when you got a roof that size, it's a very large roof. It takes a lot of money. So anything, if you guys are out there, reach out to the Wildwood Sanitarium, and if you can, and if you'd be willing to donate a little bit to them, that'd be great. Again, I don't think they put a fundraiser out, but it's important, and it's a great location. If you haven't investigated there, set up a time to go investigate with your team or with just friends and check it out. And I see Ed Broderick's out there. How you doing out there, Ed?
Hey, Ed.
Sky Ray is there. Emily
Sky.
Mason. And Emily Mason has a question, so I'm going to get to that. But yeah, if you guys can help out, we'll put up the information for Wildwood Sanitarium out there as soon as we can, and I'll take care of that. But I want to answer this question first from Emily. She says, Jack, what do you think are the best ways to prevent attachments when investigating? So I'm going to show her question, and this is from on Facebook. The best way to prevent attachments is before you go, use, if you know about white light protection, or if you use prayer when you go, reach out to your faith and your belief system. Ask for protection from whatever your beliefs are. And you can also use like what we call white light technique. And Carly, I'll let you talk about that, because you have a good example of what that is, and I like your analogy of it.
So the way I like to describe the white light technique is like, you know, those like really oversized like human hamster balls that you can climb in and like run around in. And there's like a really funny video of this guy in this blow up ball, and he's like running down the hill, and these people are like right in front of him, and he's running people over, but no one can touch him. That's what I like to think of in terms of like a white light bubble. No one can touch you. Nothing can get through. Eventually, when you get better at it, and it's a lot easier for you to control, you can control what can and cannot get through. In terms of just like only positivity. There's actually a book called by Michelle Bellinger that actually goes into depth more about it, and she's really good about explaining that stuff. But yes, the human hamster ball is what I like to use as my analogy.
I like that. I do like that analogy. So, so what you do basically is put that white light ball around
you. Yep.
Yeah, pushing away. Envision yourself in a dark area, just blackness, and you use this white light ball to surround yourself with this white light and pushing all that darkness away. And a lot of times that will protect you from getting any attachments. And again, use prayer, and do this before you go on the investigation. And again, while you're investigating, think of it again and reinforce it. And that will actually help you protect you from getting attachments. Believe it or not, as long as you believe in it, as long as you believe in your faith and your belief system, it will work for you.
And this is not a white light of your energy. This is a white light of your faith.
Correct.
You're sucking your energy inside of you, especially when you're grounding. You want that control, that straight line.
Correct.
Because the way you get an attachment is spirits attach their energy to your energy. And that's why the white light of your faith is around you, to not get to your energy.
Correct.
So, yes.
And I am going to, I pulled up, let's see if this works. I did pull up the Facebook page for the Wildwood Sanitarium Restoration Project. I just want to share this.
Oh, yeah, no, I found it.
For a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it up here.
Should be up there already.
Okay. There it is. Yep. You guys can go there. You can check it out. You can reach out to them to do investigations and stuff. They also do public ghost hunts, things like that. And you can reach out to them through there. Again, it's a great cause. It's a great place. They do need some help right now. I mean, there's a picture of the place. You can see the kind of roof we're talking about there. It's a pretty big place. It's got a pretty big roof and a pretty strange design roof. So those cost a lot of money to repair and upkeep. we'd hate to see the place kind of fall apart, and it'd be no longer available for us paranormal investigators. So if you can do something to help out, reach out to them and see what you can help them with. I appreciate that. And I'm going to take this down now. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh my gosh, Chino's paw just like reached around my laptop and he scared me.
What do you think it
Crazy
was?
cat. I don't know.
What do you think it was?
It's just I didn't know what it was. Oh gosh, I just saw like
saying,
a
what do you think it
paw
was?
like go around my laptop. Oh,
I hear you.
Chino.
I hear you. That's Chino for you. All right. Well, I know we had some other questions too, so I want to try to get
Yes.
to those. If I missed your question, or if I do miss your question, please repost it. And Barry, yes, it was great seeing you both, seeing you there at Wildwood Sanitarium, as well as Carl and Bob and Dan again, and of course, oh my God, my mind just went blank. It was Melissa and Scott who ran it. They ran that.
No, it was Deidre.
Deidre. Sorry, yeah, I don't know why I thought Melissa.
You're missing. You're like confusing it with Melissa and Jerry.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Deidre and Scott, and they ran a great little event. It was only a small little event. Matter of fact, there was a picture of it up there.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. All right,
That's
so I know
awesome.
I had a Keith. Keith had a question for us. I'm going to show Keith's question. What's your thought on portals being possibly interdimensional? I do believe some portals are interdimensional. Well, they're interdimensional anyway, because if it's a portal to the spirit world, that's not our dimension.
Exactly.
So I think by that, and if you're thinking, I know some people believe there's maybe portals to other worlds, portals that are created by possibly, like a better word, aliens. Things not from this our Earth and things like that. So there's all these possibilities. But we did have a good kind of example of it when we were down at Haldeman Mansion. We did actually do an investigation that weekend down at Gettysburg. It was just with Melissa and Jerry and with their team. And Dan was there too. Dan came to that as well. But we went over there and we were talking to them. They were telling us about something that happened with Melissa, where her and one of the other members of her team saw this gray mist in a doorway. And Melissa kind of ran through it, wondering what was going on, and ended up in a completely different room than what she should have been. She didn't recognize it was like a triangular shaped room. It was black at the point, like she was at the wider end of it, and it came to a point in front of her, and there was a white light coming from that with the little girl who they usually make contact with at the Haldeman Mansion. And she was standing and being backlit by this, so she looked like a dark figure. And Melissa didn't know where she was. Interesting enough, I did ask if when she walked into that room, because there's only Melissa and her one friend that could see this gray mist in the doorway. So, but I did ask everybody else. There was several other people there too. They're with their team. I said, can anybody see her in the other room when she walked through the doorway? And some people said, well, we were in a position. Other people said, well, actually, I couldn't see her in there. So, well, when's the next time you saw her? When she actually stepped out from what Melissa and her friends saw as this mist. When she actually just stepped out of the doorway, she was just there. I told Melissa, I said, you actually walked through a dimensional portal and walked into the spirit realm, whatever you want to talk about, or whatever you want to call it. And interesting enough, about a week before that happened, they had kind of lost contact with the little girl they usually talk to. And then after that happened, the little girl was back again. They were able to talk to her again. There had some other weird things happen during that time frame too, with some other group that came in and was doing some strange stuff. But interestingly enough, we had talked to Jeff Leeper about it, and what he believes is, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Melissa about this yet, or Jerry about it, but I do want to get in touch with them. Is that this activity and stuff, all this stuff going on, was always going on. They also saw like a blue light just appear on different walls, as if it was like a flashlight, but there is nobody's using a flashlight, and it would just appear on walls and then disappear. And it'd be different walls, all on the second floor, always in different rooms. And we did actually find 5 different portals in those rooms. In that actually, even the 3rd floor, the 5th one was up going into the attic, and the doorway going to the attic. So you could say, 5 portals, 5 points to a pentagram, because something about that was brought up with this other group. But it's very likely that Jeff Leeper thought these portals, this energy was always there. It's just that now that they're investigating more and more with this group, with their own group, that the activity's picking up, and just they're seeing more and more, and they're experiencing more and more of this stuff. And interesting enough, that which I didn't realize at the time, Jerry had to tell me. Haldeman Mansion is just down the road, literally just down the road from the old 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant that had the meltdown all those years ago. And it's still being manned to this day because they monitored it, because they couldn't remove the rods from it, so they have to monitor it all the time. And Carly and I saw that going back at 2 a.m. The place was all lit up, and there's cars parked there, and there's a small crew that keeps track of it, monitors it, and everything else. So all that energy is still being put out, in a sense.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got the energy that, when that accident did happen, some radiation was released, which that hangs around for a very long time. You've got the river literally right there next to the place. So you've got all this energy, all this crazy stuff. So it's not surprising, in a way, that they're experiencing all this activity. Very interesting stuff. Very great, very, very cool stuff. So again, just a lot going on. So Keith, I hope that answers your question. But yes, I do believe they can be, and they are, interdimensional. So I'm going to take Steve's question, or Keith's question, down there. You posted the link. Okay, very good. To Wildwood. Thank you for doing that. Sky Ray says she donates every month. She must be doing the monthly thing. That's very cool. Awesome. Appreciate that, Sky. I probably should do that myself. I just donate occasionally when I have some extra. But donate $5 a month. That's not really a big deal.
Shelly's watching.
Oh, Shelly's watching too. Okay, here's a question from Steve White. Hi guys, what are your thoughts on this? Is it possible for thunderstorms to increase paranormal activity? Absolutely, Steve. Any changes in our natural environment, especially when you start to get thunderstorms, even just before that, because a lot of electrical activity and changes in barometric pressure, all these things are happening even just prior to a storm. And during the storm, it can really pick up. And I have seen that happen, activity pick up during that. Yeah, that's definitely, the environment definitely affects paranormal activity. And it does increase during storms. During full moons, it increases as well. Matter of fact, we're on a full moon tonight.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, and our friend Timothy Morse is watching. He says he always uses protection before and after. He also used white sage. Yes, and that's a good thing after too, is you can use white sage, and you can use prayer, and you can use that white light to cleanse yourself. That goes back to the earlier question. Cleanse yourself to prevent any attachments before and after an investigation. Keep anything from following you home. So both before and after. But I do think it's important before, especially. It seems to help.
It's easier to put your guard up when you're not being affected.
Correct.
And it's always good to be on top of things. So.
Yep. And Ed Broderick is talking about, he said Gettysburg. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ed, but okay.
Sky, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your shirt. Yes. Yes, Gettysburg. Yeah, Carly got that down when we were down there. I see my sister Michelle, like you said before, Michelle is on. Surrounded with bright full moonlight. Yes, Michelle, that's where we are tonight, actually. There's a full moon tonight. You can also think of it that way, too.
Mm-hmm.
Surround yourself with the light of the full moon.
We got our friends over on the YouTube watching.
Oh, we got a few YouTubers watching tonight?
Yeah,
awesome.
PK and Preston. Hi, guys.
Woohoo!
I've talked to them a little bit. They're awesome.
Oh, okay. And Carly got her sweatshirt down at the Gettysburg National Museum down there. Even I got my shirt. Mine's Gettysburg, too. Where is it? There it is. So, yeah, I got mine down there, too. And along with a hat. Came with a hat and the shirt. I got a couple of questions. Here's one from Chelsea. I'll put it up there. What does it mean if you feel drawn to a place you've never been before? Well, I mean, it depends on a lot of things. I mean, if you saw the place and you're kind of drawn to it, there could be non-paranormal reasons you're drawn to it. It could be the look of the place, if you're really like into the architecture of it, or it just looks like a very interesting place to you. Depends on how badly you're drawn to it. I mean, if you feel like you absolutely positively have to go there, there's a lot of different things it could be. A lot of different people have ideas about that. Even past life experiences, like maybe you lived there in a previous life. If you believe in reincarnation and past life experience, could be that. It could be just there's a spiritual connection for you there of some kind. It's there's a lot of different things it could be. So, but if you're drawn to the place, as long as it's like a healthy kind of feeling to be drawn to it, if you can, go there, go check the place out. Maybe you'll get some answers to why you're drawn to it. You may find out maybe your family is somehow connected to a location or a place that you didn't realize. It could be that. In other words, ancestry related. So I wouldn't worry about it being a bad thing necessarily, unless you became obsessed with it. Then you might want to start worrying about, why am I obsessed with going to this place? Especially after you've been there once. You may have picked up an attachment or something like that. If you've never been there, though, it could be, again, something to do with your ancestry, something to do with a past life, something to do with just some type of visual connection you're making to it. I hope that kind of answers your question. It's a question of more questions, or an answer of more questions, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barry Martz is asking a question. I'm just going to throw it up there. Is Michelle Bellinger the psychic bloodhound that appears on Kindred Spirits? I don't know. I don't know if that's what she's been on Kindred Spirits a couple times. I don't know if they call her that.
Bloodhound.
No, I've never remember her being called that. Michelle Bellinger, if you're wondering who that is, many people know who she is. Let's see if we can pull her up here. She is. I'll see if I can pull this up and share this with you. I don't know if I've never heard her called Psychic Bloodhound personally, but then again, you never know. Maybe they jokingly said that about her. I don't know. She's a great person. She's very gifted.
Yes. I commented
Matter of fact,
on.
when I got into the paranormal, one of her books was the first I read. Actually, it was the first I read. Ghost Hunters. What was this? Was it called again? Ghost Hunters Guide to. I forget now. Anyways, I'll have to think about that. But anyways, Michelle Bellinger is a great individual.
I tried to put her website in the comments, but it told me the comment was against community standards, so I don't think anyone can see it.
Oh, that's kind of weird. I can't get the page to come up, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh, here it comes. Oh, Ghost Hunter Survival Guide. There
Yes,
it is.
Ghost Hunter Survival Guide.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull this up for you guys. I'm going to share this with you for a moment. And this is her Facebook page. You guys can check it out. Again, I've never heard her called that, Barry, but there's her Facebook page. Again, great person. Gotta love Michelle. She's got a lot of good information even on her Facebook page. So even non-paranormal related stuff. But she's a great person, and I love her a lot. And she's got some great books out there. Check them out. There's just some of them listed up at the top up there. Again, good person.
She's very intelligent too. She knows.
Very. She actually has she has a library, an occult library with pretty much everything in it that you can actually go to and actually check out the books and stuff. So it's in her home. I think you have to reach out to her and ask about it. But people do go through her library and check out her books and stuff. So, I see we got some friends on Periscope. A couple people talking to each other out there. I see what else we got. What else do we have? What other questions do we have? We feel drawn. All right.
Bob Burnell has a good question.
No, Tim is going to throw. I'm going to throw this. It says, "Jack, do you feel different? I see an angel behind you." Well, that's normal. That's all I'll say about that. That's normal, Tim. That's normal. I never feel different. It's that particular individual is always there.
That's very true.
Yeah. Jack and Carly, what is your thoughts on animals such as dogs being used on investigations? Good question, Bob Burnell. It is a good question, and I do think they can be very useful because they do sense things that we don't. I've never used one. I don't have a dog anyway. But I've never used an animal on investigations. But I have paid attention with when I'm working cases or when we're working cases that the people we're helping have animals. And if their animals are in the house, we kind of pay attention to what's going on with them. So indirectly, I've used them. Sorry, I just saw a message come up, so it just distracted me for a second. So, you can pay attention to them. They do see things that we don't. They hear things that we can't hear. They can even sometimes help to guide you towards it being non-paranormal related, as they can hear, like if there's animals moving within the walls, things like that, or if they can scent them out too. If there's some kind of other thing that people hear scratching or banging in the wall, sometimes it's an animal, and the dog or even cats can scent that out, and they'll hear them. And if you pay attention to what they're doing, you can figure out what it really is. And they'll also react to spirits. So I think it's useful. If you're bringing your own, you just want to make sure where you're going allows you to bring in an animal. Don't just bring it, and show up with it. Ask them ahead of time if that's okay. So
some people can be allergic and stuff, and some people may have had bad experiences with dogs and pets and stuff. So you always got to be really careful with that.
Right, exactly, and that's why we don't. Even for us, people will ask us, "Hey, I've got dogs and cat. Is that okay? You guys allergic?" We'll say, "No, we're fine. We're lucky. We're not. At least I'm not allergic to them. Most of our team isn't, and we all kind of love animals, get along with animals. So yeah, we usually don't have a problem with that." Um, and Howie Odell, I'm just going to toss it up here because he says, "Hey, gang, wanted to drop in and say hi before I run over to Blog Talk." Well, thank you, Howie. You have a good night over there. Glad you stopped in, and it was great seeing you down in Gettysburg. And we'll be on your show pretty soon, too. So I think we have our dates for that already, right? Yeah.
I gotta look, but
So do I. I got
can't
to
think
look.
off the top
But
of my
we will
head.
be on Howie's show. We've already talked about it. We're working that out if we haven't worked it out already. Um,
It was funny when we saw him in Gettysburg because he like came up to us in the parking lot when we were talking to Jeff Leeper, and the sun was in my eyes like when he was coming up, and I look and I see his hat, and that's how I recognized who he was. I couldn't see his face, but I saw his hat. I was like, "Oh, Howie!" It was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I love Howie's hat. I love his hat. Yeah,
Yeah, this is an awesome hat.
good steampunk stuff. I love all that.
Yes.
Yep, yep. So Steve White has a question for you. He says, "Hey guys, you ever consider going down the Bridgewater Triangle? Lots of serious things going on down there. I mean, they got a full package of Bigfoot. Actually, Howie, I mean, we mostly focus on residential stuff. But interesting enough, we had a case that was right within the Bridgewater Triangle. Matter of fact, that case was on season 2 of Haunted Case Files. So we have had investigations within the Bridgewater Triangle, actually, but I've never gone down and investigated the triangle itself. We just, it's like going to a lot of other places. We don't have the time. I mean, we're doing so much other stuff and involved with so many other types of cases. We just don't go and do like those type of places. Once in a while we will. Like I said, I'm going this November. We picked one weekend to go in November, and we're going to go investigate the Hinsdale house with some friends. But we don't get to do that too often. We really focus on for what we do as paranormal investigators, residential cases. Once in a while we get called in to do also check out some things for historical sites for them. We really focus on that, just trying to help people, and not so much like a lot of other teams do focus on trying to collect information about the other side, about the paranormal, the existence of spirits and ghosts and Bigfoot and all that stuff. It's just kind of not what our team does. We focus on the other side of things. But we love the teams that do, and occasionally we will get to go with them and do stuff with them, and it's fun. It's fun. Here's a question from Preston Beckett. I'm just going to throw it up. Can an entity ghost take the form or appearance of a person who is still alive and well? If so, what do you think it means? Preston, what you're talking about there is something called a doppelganger. They will appear to be a person you know, although some strange things will happen. They may not talk to you. You may look straight at them and try to engage in a conversation, but they won't talk to you, and then they'll just suddenly walk away and turn a corner and be gone. You may see the person from behind, and you keep yelling to them, but they never respond. They'll walk out through a door, and then they're gone. And then the other person may walk in through a different door. And you say, "Hey, I was just trying to..." No, it's not the same purpose. Those are called doppelgangers. They do exist out there. The purpose of them usually is to try to confuse you. It's kind of like they're trying to mess with you. They're not always necessarily negative, but they can be. And I'm not talking about demons. They're not necessarily demons. It can be a spirit. It could be a demon potentially too, or it could be a sign of a demonic infestation, but not always. You got to really investigate and check it out to see what's really going on. But
So
sometimes these spirits will mess with you.
So doppelgangers are more like tricksters in a way?
Yes. Yes. It can be a sign of a negative type of haunting.
I've had mine do that, where they've appeared as someone
Yeah,
entirely living, which is
sometimes.
confusing and makes you go crazy.
Yeah, in some cases, actually, people will see who's a living person in the house, like really upset and things like that, and they know the person's not there though. And what that is it's a you're witnessing a moment caught in time. It's not a ghost per se. It's a residual type haunt where something really traumatic took place and it's replaying itself right in front of you. And the person looks real, it looks like it's really there, and they're not. But it's because of the traumatic event that took place. And that has happened to people as well. So that could also be something it is too. Preston, I hope that helps you out a little bit.
One particular example that I remember you talking about was at that one place where a guy had been murdered, and like an employee of the place had been murdered by the owner or something. But like people who have investigated the place have caught like EVPs and stuff from the actual murderer, even though the murderer was actually in jail alive. Is that what you're like kind of referring to? Like a residual,
yes,
energetic imprint.
People, yeah, that is, yes, yeah. And people have seen, there's a case where this one individual murdered the store owner.
Okay, yes. Okay.
And people see that individual down in this location, the basement of this location where he murdered that individual, but the guy's in jail. And my point there is you leave that part of your soul there, an impression of your soul there, and it's kind of caught there. It's not interacting, it's not sentient, but it is an imprint because of how intense the action was, or the activity, the actual occurrence that happened was, that they left part of themselves there. So that individual is in jail, but he is also seen down in the basement of this business, which is kind of strange, but it does happen. So it can be something like that as well. Some people are talking with amongst each other, which I always think is great. And so we got some conversations going on between people. Thank you for that, all of you. This is what this show is always about. Everybody interacting, even if we're not answering the questions. If somebody else wants to throw out an answer to your question out there, feel free. You know, we're here to try to help each other and try to work with each other. And that's a great thing. And again, this is a reason I wanted to hold this kind of live feed about a paranormal Q&A, was to bring you all together, to get you talking, sharing your thoughts and ideas, and even just, like Bob Burnell's sharing a link to information on Bridgewater Triangle. That's awesome, because we don't always have time to do it right here, because we're looking at your guys' questions and feeds, and we're going with that. So it's awesome, and we appreciate that you guys are really getting into the show and talking with each other and sharing with each other. It's important to do that, and we greatly appreciate what you guys are all doing out there. Okay, so here's the rest of that from Preston. Says the person, ghost, doesn't live with him, the person, I guess, who recognized. He recognized the person alive several years after he saw the entity, but thanks. Okay, well, again, Preston, that could be something that either a spirit is presenting itself that way to your friend, or if your friend, if he was ever there visiting your friend or something, it could have left an impression there that he sees him. It's a possibility. There's several different possibilities for that. And Ed's talking about Bridgewater and how most of his cases, demonic cases, were in Bridgewater. It is a very interesting kind of place, that's for sure. The case that we had was kind of a negative case there as well. Let's see. Here's Deborah Hirsch. Here's a question from Deborah. I'm an investigator on a team in St. Augustine, Florida. Hey, great place. We are traveling to Trans-Allegheny, the asylum there, for a walk-in Saturday night. Have you been there? No, I have not. But I'm pretty sure there's somebody in this chat room who has been there at Trans-Allegheny. I've never been to it. I've just seen it on TV. Would like to get there someday if I ever get the opportunity or the chance. It would be great to go there. I understand there's a lot of activity there, a lot of different things going on. So if somebody has in the chat has been to Trans-Allegheny Asylum, reach out to Deborah, see if there's anything you can tell her about the place, about your own experiences you had there. We would appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure I think somebody in here has been there, if I'm not mistaken, unless they're not in the chat anymore. I thought Keith went there. Didn't Keith Bailey go there?
Yes, actually, yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah, so Keith, if you're still out there, maybe you can give Deborah some insight into Trans-Allegheny, the insane asylum there. And Barry, good friend Barry says, same here. I love this show and also great to interact with the chat room and to find answers beyond Jack and Carly. Yeah, sometimes we don't have the answers, we do our best. We've been at this for quite a while. Carly's had her own experiences over 10 years with a demonic haunting, so she knows a lot about different things. She even learned Reiki from her spirit guide who helped her out during all that. But yes, you guys have answers for each other too, and that's important. It's important that you do that. And Ruth Such was, she actually messaged me privately, but I'll answer that here. Ruth, actually, yes, the Hinsdale thing we're doing in November is just for a bunch of friends of us. We're not trying, we're just sharing the expense down there. But I'll talk to you about that on the side. But I just wanted to let you know, yeah, right now it really is just for friends and stuff. But then again, you're a friend, so
Yeah.
let's say that, and we'll leave it at that for the moment. Okay, but I am limiting it to how many people are going down there, just because of the whole COVID thing as well. So we are limiting who's going down there. I don't want to overstuff the place. We are going to still have to follow, wear masks, all the precautions right now, because it's still you're still going to have to do that even then. Yeah. Oh, Barry says he's been to Trans-Allegheny. Lunatic Asylum is a big tour. You have to go there. It is an awesome thing. So Barry has some information. He went as a tour, but still, you know about at least you toured the building. You know some of the information on it. Probably anything you can provide out there to Deborah would be great, Barry. You guys can private message each other, or you can just share it here. What you learned on the tour about the history of the location and stuff. Thanks, Barry. I appreciate you putting that out there. So, wow, our time is flying by. So, again, we're always here. Yeah, we're always here to answer your guys' questions. And I'm enjoying this whole multi thing tonight, multicast tonight. It's actually working out. It seems to be working out pretty well. And we're using a new program out there. It's recommended to me by Steve Culls, my buddy Steve Culls, and a couple other people. And I like it. It works very well. It works very somewhat similar to the other program I was using. But I do like it. It works good, and we can reach out to more people this way. And it's fun.
Yes, Keith has been to St. Augustine, Florida.
Wait, yeah,
by
but
the
we're
way.
talking about Trans-Allegheny Lunatic
No,
Asylum.
I know. I was just answering because I just double checked. Because
Yes,
yes,
yeah. That's
yeah.
where Deborah's
I
coming from.
confirmed
Yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
That's where Deborah's coming from.
Okay. I just
They're
wanted to
going
check
up to
before I said yes or no.
Trans-Allegheny, but yeah,
Yes.
Keith, I didn't know if you had been to Trans-Allegheny, and can give Deborah any information on what you
Yeah.
experienced there. Yeah, she actually lives down in St. Augustine. Their team is down there, and they're coming up to Trans-Allegheny. So,
Yes.
okay, here's a question from Steve White. Put that up there. While investigating a residential location, have you ever ran into a residual energy or haunting inside of a home? Oh my God, yes, many times. Many times, Steve. A lot of times you have both residual and intelligent hauntings together, and it's kind of hard to figure out which is which sometimes. You've got to kind of sort through it. Sometimes it has been just a residual. You will occasionally hear footsteps going up and down stairs. You will even maybe see something, but it only happens under certain conditions. Um, like an apparition or something like that. I've been to different locations where I've had that, but yes, yeah, I definitely have had. Uh, our team has had residuals. In fact, Carly and I experienced that at the Lookout House in Asper's, Pennsylvania, the Lookout House Bed and Breakfast that's run by our good friends Steve and Pamela Berry, and we had heard footsteps across the attic, like boots on a hardwood floor, which made sense for the attic. Heard it come down the attic stairs, open up the door that comes into our room because we were in the Americana room. And the access to the attic is through the Americana room. Opened the door, came into the room, and we heard I heard she was sleeping at the time, but I heard the
Yeah.
boot steps walk across what sounded like a hardwood floor. The thing of it is, the room itself is carpeted, and when I heard the door open and close, the actual door never opened and closed. I actually had recorded that night, left the camera running, and I played it back. The door actually never opened and closed, although you could hear it. So you add all those things together, that tells me that was a residual type haunting. It just occurred. It wasn't a spirit that was actually there. It was just a residual haunting of somebody walking from the attic, down the stairs, through the room. And it stopped when it got next to me at the bed. But it's just kind of funny. And where I was sleeping, it was right next to the door going out to the hallway. So,
Yeah.
but it was just residual. I felt like I didn't feel like there was a spirit there or anything else. It was just residual haunting.
I wish I could have experienced that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll go back. We're going back again, so
Yeah.
maybe we will.
Same night, we're gonna repeat everything that happened that night, and we're gonna make sure that it goes. We do it again.
Here, Barry says this. So I'm going to put this up for Deborah. The smoking room at Trans has quite a bit of energy. I think it is on the 3rd or 4th floor at one corner end of the main asylum building. So there you go. There's a little insight from Barry.
He meant Tala, not Trans.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll put that up too. I use Trans for the... All right, Barry. Well, we got that straightened out. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so what else can we talk about, Carly? We're just about at our time for the show. Because of this new program, I am able to bring in up to 10 people at once within this program. So I am looking at running an online course for basic paranormal investigating. It's going to be basically the same thing I did at Hudson Valley Community College last October. We obviously can't do an investigation, but it is going to entail some homework and reviewing audio evidence and video evidence that I provide to you guys. We are going to do that. we will either hold it for up to 6 or 8 people total, because I can only do 10 total, which includes like me and Carly, so that cuts it down to 8. But we are going to try it with probably 6. I think probably 5 or 6 people first to start with. We'll do it that way. See how it all works out. So we are going to be doing this, people. And now that we've got a program that we can kind of do this with, I will give you more information out about that. The course will include a copy of my book. We will sort that out, and I can we'll do it ahead of time so that I have time to mail the books out to those who are going to participate in the course at the time. It will be a closed session kind of thing, so only those people who are attending will be able to get into the program, and we'll do it. We'll do it. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do an investigation right away, but I think what we will do is we'll be able to maybe get to an investigation a little bit later on. We can hold the online classes like later this fall, and maybe hopefully we'll be able to get to do an actual investigation together, maybe in February, March, maybe March or April. So we're going to try to work that out. But yes, I have decided I'm going to do this now that I have a program I can use that can bring in more people, and we can teach you live. So I see MJ says yay. So and Clortho K says, I have really enjoyed this. Thanks. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. And let's see. There's a question. There's another question from Preston. I'm going to put it up here. So my cousin actually is common for. Is it common for the same entity to follow? Oh, is it? Yeah. Is it common for the same entity to follow him after he moved to another state? Do you think that kind of attachment could be bad? He's had it for well over 20 years now. Well, Preston, I would say this, since it's an attachment, and we've got more information now. It's obviously he has a spirit of some kind that is with him, whether it's attached to him or whether it's a family member or something else. We don't totally know yet. I would ask you this in regards to it potentially being bad or negative. Has he had over this 20 years bad things happen to him all the time? And I mean a lot. Like his life seems to, he'll go 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. He can't get ahead. He seems to have a lot of anxiety anytime he's just home by himself with maybe whatever's there. There's ways to kind of sort through this. If you'd like, reach out to me more on email. You can reach me at jackkenna.org@gmail.com. It's jackkenna.org@gmail.com. I'll put that up here. This is my email address you can reach me at. I'm just typing in. I'm going to post it up here. And you can reach me at that email address. I think it posted. Yes, it did. So you can reach me at that email address. Preston, if you'd like to tell me more, maybe we can figure it out and I can give you more answers that way. It's a little bit hard to do it all in this chat, but let's hope we can get you some answers out there. And that's what we're always here for. Try to give you as many, not just give you answers here, but if you need a little additional help after, we can try to do that too. And again, thanks everybody for being on here tonight. I'll answer a couple more questions because I see them out here. People's area. Jack, would you ever consider vacationing on Oak Island? You could actually investigate the island. Yeah, I actually would. It's actually somebody else mentioned that to me. I don't think you can actually vacation on the island itself, but they do give tours there, and somebody has bugged me to reach out to them and see if they would actually let me and my team investigate it paranormal-wise, which I kind of thinking about it. It's not actually all that far from me. I think it's about 12 hours away.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's up the coast. I've actually been up that coastline. I've been actually not too far from where Oak Island is. Just never went there. I would love to actually go up and just even take the tour sometime. But that's a great question, Steve. And I like that question. And yes, I would if I could. Who knows what the future may bring? We'll see what happens. MJ says she's looking forward to the class already. She has my book. Oh, then you got the book. You're already a step ahead. So, yes, we are going to be doing that. And Bob Bernal says, so are the classes regional then for the later investigation? I'm thinking of maybe starting it with it that way, Bob, or because I'd like to be able to do it in different states, really, and reach out to more people that way. So I think as I gave the classes, yes, it would be more regional. But if somebody really wants to take the class online and they live, let's say I decide to do it from Massachusetts. If you're living in Rhode Island or if you're living in Connecticut, even if you're living in one of the further southern states, if you really want to just take the course to learn what you can and not worry about the investigation, I would do that too. Because I am going to make sure people get a lot out of it, even if you didn't get to go on the investigation. So we're going to do that. And we will try to even do some advanced courses and stuff for you too. Here's this question from Steve White. We got just a couple things left, and then I'm going to cut it off here. But here's a question from Steve. Here's a question for you guys. Is it possible for spirits to go dormant? Sure, why not? Some spirits, you could say it's going dormant. Some will interact with people for a period of time, and then as they may try to get your attention, they may try to reach out to you, but if you ignore them, eventually they may kind of give up instead of it getting worse. I have seen that happen too. Sometimes they'll go dormant when they know a paranormal team is coming to help the individual. I've seen that happen many times where people have called me up and said, well, nothing's really happening. I don't know if you guys should bother coming. It's been really quiet for the last couple of weeks. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason for that. They know, because Spirit knows you're talking to these people. They know you're coming. So they'll go quiet. Yeah, they will go what seems to be dormant, but it's really not.
And some of our clients will say, like, well, the previous owners said that they never had activity, or like, they didn't have any of these experiences. It also has to do with chemistry in terms of who's living there and the resident spirits there. So sometimes, certain owners will maybe remind them of somebody or even tick them off a little bit. You never know. So, there's more spirits out there than there are living people. So really, there's basically no place that isn't haunted, if you think about it. So it just has to do with who's there.
Yep. And Ed, yes, I know you're in Rhode Island out there. So thanks, Jack, Rhode Island. So we're not going to really try to limit it to any particular people for this first class. We'll work it all out. We'll figure it all out. And we'll go from there. And Preston, very good. If he's a little hesitant to reach out himself, that's fine. You can reach out to us, or maybe you can reach out together to us. We can even do a video chat if you'd like. That is possible. Clortho K just asked us if either of us, Carly, know Zach. I know he's talking about Zach Bagans.
Is, no. I think he's talking about his friend Zach. You know what? It's on my phone.
Well, okay,
I
then
believe his first name is Zach. So yes, if that's who you're talking about, then yes, I do know him. Oh, I know what. Okay, I know what he's talking about. Okay, yes, I do know what you're talking about, CK. I think I know. Yeah, I can fill you in on the.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't know what I thought. I hear Zach. I think people mean that Zach Bagans.
No, I know who he's
and no, I do not know him anyways. I've never met the guy. I only know what I've seen on TV. No, I'm talking about Zach Bagans. Okay. As far as your friend Zach, no, I don't know him either. So Carly seems to. So that's a good thing. See, one of us knew.
Yes.
And guys, we're gonna let you go for tonight. I appreciate y'all being here. We love you. And I will be over the next couple weeks. I'm gonna get everything together, and I will be announcing when the classes are gonna be. There will be a cost for it. Won't be a lot. Don't worry. Um, we'll be keeping it very reasonable for people. Um, but for those who need the books, I got to just cover the costs of those and if, a little bit. So it's not going to be massively amount of anything. So don't worry about that. It's not going to be like $500 course or no, we don't do that. If anybody who knows us knows we keep things just so we're not. It's not costing us. That's basically it. It's not costing us really anything. We will talk to you all again soon. We'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Hope you enjoyed the show. And remember, you can also either, if you missed it, came in at the end, you can rewatch this again on Facebook. It'll be out there for a while. And you can also just go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and Carly Hall. Please go and subscribe to it, even if you're just watching here on Facebook. We appreciate the subscriptions that people have. And you can always go back there and watch all the previous shows. They're always on there. They're there for you to view. If you missed one, go back. Or if something is back there that you want to review, go ahead and go back and re-review it. And if you've got questions there, I do go in there. I try to go in more often now and look for questions and try to answer them if people had them. So, again, we love you all. We appreciate you all. Carly, any last words from you?
Stay positive.
Stay positive. There you go.
Yes.
It's the best thing you can do, people.
Stay
and remember,
positive and smile.
Stay positive and smile. I would say my little quip, too, which is faith is strength, people. Remember that, too. Yep. Those two go together. Those two little quips go together very well. So.
Just to sneak it in real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
For those of you, because a lot of people have been asking me about this. If any of you guys have not heard of what's called light showers, it actually is very helpful, especially for times like these. What you do is you get into the shower, you picture yourself covered in like black goo. You take body wash and either a washcloth or like one of those cool squeegee things, and you picture white light around your hand, a very cleansing light. Scrub yourself down, you scrub all that black stuff away, and then you picture light in the shower just washing over you and washing all that gunk away. It is the best feeling ever after you are done with that, and it's a good cleansing routine. So especially for times like these when you're stuck in home or you're working hard and you need some relaxing time, it's good. So.
There you go.
Oh. Thanks, Alexa.
She was listening to you. That's a disembodied voice, people, called Alexa. And Carly got too loud and it hurt her. So there you go. Rick Perry, our pleasure for coming out to Wildwood Sanitarium. We enjoyed it. Again, everybody, good night. We love you, and we'll see you all again next Tuesday. And thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.